All right, here we go on a Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We are all set and ready to go. Another week of the Wisconsin Family Podcast. We have come to the MLB All-Star break, so no live Brewer games to react to every day, but we've got plenty on the show here for you today. First, if you want to get a hold of us, you can do that. Follow along on Twitter. That is the preferred method. Wisconsin_fam. At Wisconsin_FAM on Twitter. Follow along on YouTube as well. YouTube.com/@WisconsinFamily and then the number 1. And then on TikTok as well, just search for Wisconsin_family. So the Brewers take 2 out of 3. What a week it was for the Brewers. Started off with that wild series against the Cubs. 4th of July series. And then you have the front-running Reds coming into town. And you win 2 out of 3 from them, which is what you should do at home. But, man, yesterday was a pretty intense game. Felt like a playoff game. Of course, Brewers will play the Reds coming out of the All-Star break right away as well. But the Brewers win 2 out of 3 on that and stay within 1 game of the Reds. We'll talk a little bit about that first half of the Brewers season, kind of recap it. Go over a couple of things. The final stretch for the Brewers. They played these 17 games in 17 days, no days off. Brewers went, and a lot of that on the road, they went 11-6. The offense is starting to turn it on. Willy Adames has 4 home runs over the last 4 games. Christian Yelich continues to play like an all-star. The offense has come alive a little bit. I've given up on Jesse Winker. I'm done. Some person, Dumbbell, yesterday on Twitter, I threw in my comment on the Brewers official Twitter page when they released the lineup, and I saw Jesse freaking Winker with his 198 batting average and 1 home run through the first half of the year was batting 4th. So, of course, I had to comment on that. And some idiot who's evidently a Reds fan said they'll take him back. Oh, you want Jesse Winker? You got him. Yeah, in fact, you know what? We'll pay to have you take him back. Now, as these things usually work out, the Jesse Winker ended up getting the game-winning RBI yesterday. That doesn't matter. That's not enough to convince me that he should be in the 4-hole. At any rate, some guys are starting to hit. Adames, Yelich is doing well. The offense is starting to churn a little bit. Terang has been better since he came back up. It helps to not have Luis Urias in the lineup. Weimer's been pretty solid. And then, some of these other guys that you're getting some contribution from, like Tapia and guys like that. So it's good to see the offense start functioning towards the end of the first half here. I was excited to see that, and then, it's really continued. So Brewers go into the break 1 game behind Cincinnati. 49-42, 7 games above 500. Now, how did they get there in the first half? Here are some of my thoughts on the first half for the Brewers. Number 1, that 17-game streak that I talked about to open things up, that was huge. Because if that doesn't go that way and we're sitting further out, you're maybe looking at selling this team. But right now, from my vantage point, I'm starting to actually believe in this Brewer team to the point where I say, okay, well, maybe they should go out and get 1 or 2 bats. Now, you never know what's going to happen because, of course, last year the Brewers were in first place at the deadline and they sold. So you never know what's going to happen. But at any rate, I'm starting to believe in this team. So first half thoughts, this last 17-game stretch was huge. The starting pitching was held afloat by guys like Colin Ray, and Julio Teheran for a few starts. And Wade Miley. Look at him again yesterday. Huge game. The rotation was supposed to be the strong suit. And some of your big guys, Lauer and especially Woodruff, were out. Corbin Burns missed some time. There was other guys in and out, including Miley. But some of these unknown heroes have come in and kept the Brewers afloat when it comes to the starting pitching. They've been huge. Colin Ray going into the seventh inning, each of his last two times out. The offense in the first half was mostly terrible up until, well, kind of towards the end of the series against the no, I can't think of their new name. Cleveland Guardians. Can't say Indians. Don't tell anyone. The offense started to come alive in that point. And it's looked pretty solid. I mean, we're no longer scoring just 1 or 2 runs. We're looking at 4, 5, 6 runs a game. They exploded for like 11 or 12 a couple of times. So, first half recap of the offense, it sucked, but it's getting better. That needs to continue on. And then the last big standout from the first half is the bullpen. You know, a lot of throughout the early portions of the season, you looked at the Brewers as a whole and you said, no, I just can't figure out how they're winning games. Are they just lucky? I mean, this is just a bad team that's winning. And then you start to see trends as time goes on. And you start to learn, well, this is how we're winning some of these games. And what we learned was that in the first half of the season, we lived off the bullpen. Especially some of those guys in the back end. Particularly Devin Williams, Joel Payamps. These type of guys I'm referring to that they've kept this team afloat. Along with the unsung, unknown previously heroes who stepped into the starting rotation. That's amazing, really, when you think about it, because you think about this. The starting pitching, not only were they hurt, and the bullpen, not only were they relatively unknown, a lot of them, not only that, but they had to carry an offense that was non-existent. And they did it. They did it as much as they needed to be 7 games over 500 here at the break. All right, so the MLB draft began last night. Round 1. I'm just going to swing through this real quick. A lot of people, I don't think, care about the MLB draft. I, for one, don't care. I don't really follow a whole lot of stuff going on in the minors. Once you start getting people close enough, like Cheerio and stuff like that, I start paying attention. Okay, when is this guy going to come up? I don't care much about the draft. I don't care much about the very low end of the minor leagues. Frankly, I don't have a whole lot of time to pay attention to that. I'm busy paying attention to the current roster. And the current Packers and Bucks and Badgers. I don't get real deep into the farm system. The Brewers made 3 picks yesterday. All I want to do is give you their name, give you their position, and just run through it like 1.5 minutes here. First pick, out of Wake Forest, third baseman Brock Wilken. He plays third base. I'm hoping he's got a ton of power. I'm hoping that maybe he could be at some point converted into a first baseman. And then sometime in the near future, the Brewers can end this never-ending revolving door that has been first base since Prince Fielder left. A lot of power, though. All right, pick number 2. And I don't even know if I'm saying this guy's name right. Josh Knoth, I'm going to say. Knoth. He is a pitcher out of high school. He's only 17 years old, so it's going to be a few years before we see him. 99-mile-per-hour fastball, and he's got a good curveball. Third pick, Mike Bovee out of Nebraska, Omaha. He's also a corner infielder. He's a lefty, no power, but known to be more of a left-handed slap hitter. All right, so there you have it. Here's your Brewers in the draft on at least night one on Sunday night. Speaking, of night, no longer Sunday night, but today is Monday of the All-Star break, and that means Home Run Derby. So I'm looking forward to that. You know what? I enjoy the Home Run Derby more than I enjoy the actual All-Star game itself. You know, you go through day in, day out, like 87 some games, right? About 87 games in the first half before the All-Star break, and you watch every night. It's nice to see just one part, and frankly, the most exciting part of the baseball game highlighted on one night. Just get you away from the game a little bit, can relax, watch some guys launch balls out of the ballpark, which is everyone's favorite, though I do enjoy a pitcher's duel as well. But I'm looking forward to the Home Run Derby. No doubt about it. I saw an article from PackersWire.com. Now, this was from a few days ago. Of course, it does not become official until I have given my opinion on it. Packers Wire. The question was, what should the Packers do with their backup quarterback role? Did they add a veteran? Now, this piece suggested adding Teddy Bridgewater, Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, guys like that. Now, I get it. I get the need for a backup because Jordan Love's got one start. Danny Etling and Sean Clifford, the other two quarterbacks on the roster, have never stepped foot on an NFL field during a regular season game. So there is zero experience behind a starting quarterback who has zero experience. So I get it. I get the need to add a veteran. Here's where I think it may do more harm than good. And that is if and when, because it's only a matter of when Jordan Love struggles, which he will, he's a first-year starter. When he struggles, and you've got a quarterback behind him like Bridgewater or Foles, who's had some measures, like even Flacco, won a Super Bowl. These guys behind him have had some measure of success. As soon as Jordan Love struggles, Packer fans are going to demand the backup quarterback. And that may happen with Clifford, but not to the same extent. And none of these guys... Look, if Jordan Love struggles, and he's not your quarterback of the future... Well, these other guys are either. Teddy Bridgewater is not your future. Flacco, Foles, none of them are your future. And if you're not winning games this year with Jordan Love and you have to go to one of these guys, number one, if Jordan Love gets hurt and you got to go to... There's not a difference. What? Is Joe Flacco's going to come in and take the Packers to the playoffs or what? I think it does more harm than good. Less pressure on Love, at least from the fan point of view. So, look, to me, you stand pat where you're at right now if you're the Packers. And then when you get in the regular season, if something happens to Jordan Love where it's a long-term injury and you need to bring somebody in just so you're not an embarrassment rather than have Clifford or Etling play, then go and get somebody at that point. Get a seasoned vet who can at least come in and take some snaps. That's where I'm at on the Packers' backup quarterback situation. So, countdown to Packers training camp. Now, this is something that we're going to start doing every day. By the way, if you want to follow along on Twitter, you can do that at Wisconsin_fam, at Wisconsin_FAM. I did want to mention this. I put out a question for the show today because today's a nice day here in Wisconsin, 90 degrees. I said it's 90 degrees outside. You decide to grill out. What are you buying to put on that grill? We'll get to some of your answers here in just a few moments. So anyways, a countdown to Packers kickoff, and this is something we're going to start doing daily. It is 16 days until Packers training camp. So not countdown to kickoff, countdown to training camp. But we're going to look at 16 positions real quick each day. And today, we're going to start with the running back position. You got Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, and I'm going to assume that you've got Patrick Taylor there as well. The Jones and Dillon are the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. And I'm excited to see how they're used without Aaron Rodgers there. To be honest with you, I don't think Aaron Rodgers likes running the football very much. Takes the ball out of his hands. But you go back, remember when Matt LaFleur was first hired, you talk about his offense and you look at some of the other offenses that that he's in connection with. It's pretty heavy related on the run. Involves a lot of the run game, involves a lot of the running back, more so than I'm sure what Aaron Rodgers allowed him to do. So you got the best 1-2 punch. You've got the shackles of Aaron Rodgers lifted from their shoulders and their neck and their feet, their knees. They can run free. We can call running plays. We can not audible out of them. So being the good 1-2 punch that they are, I'm excited to see their expanded opportunity, not just in the run game, but in the pass game as well. I think there may be times where they use three running backs quite a bit in a game. I hope so anyway. The Packers have been phenomenal. Even when Rodgers was there, and even when Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers were there, the Packers were phenomenal on offense when they featured Aaron Jones. But then that last year, game after game after game, well, not even last year, last couple of years, what keeps happening? Matt LaFleur after every game. Oh, we got to use Aaron Jones more, and that starts with me. That's my fault for not getting them involved. We got to involve him more. Next week, we got to involve Aaron Jones more, and so on and so on. Well, obviously, it's because, I don't think it was LaFleur who didn't want to not run the ball. It's clearly Aaron Rodgers. Now he's gone. Now we can run the ball. They looked great when they featured Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. It's when they got away from that the offense got really sloppy. Not only is Rodgers gone, but they're also going to have to shoulder a bigger load because you've got real inexperience and real youth at the receiver and tight end position. And you've got good veterans at running back. So, first-year quarterback, going to have to rely on the run game. No more Aaron Rodgers, it opens things up for him. I shouldn't say bad. Inexperienced receivers and tight ends, more reliance on the running game. So I'm excited for that. I did have a comment here that I needed to get to. This was in regards to what I said about the backup quarterback position for the Packers. This comment comes from William. He says, I would have to disagree. I don't think the majority of Packers fans will demand the backup when Love struggles. We're all entitled to our opinion, but I think I could tell you for a fact that if Jordan Love struggles, they're going to be calling for a backup, especially if it's somebody with some measure of success, like Foles. Or like Bridgewater. You know how I know this? Is because even after Brett Favre was a longtime veteran and established as the best quarterback in the NFL, Matt Hasselbeck had a really good preseason. Guess what? There were some Packer fans that wanted Matt Hasselbeck to replace Brett Favre. It'll happen. Believe me, it'll happen. If he struggles, fans are going to be calling for the backup. Again, that was from William on TikTok. You can follow along on there. Wisconsin_family. Appreciate you following along on there. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. We got another comment. This one in regards to the Brewers. This is from Rhett on TikTok. Says, bullpen has held it down. Really impressed by Williams, Piamps, Milner. Offense is hot right now. I hope they keep the same success. That's what we're looking for at the Brewer offense. I mean, you're going to start getting healthy again when it comes to the pitching stuff. You're going to get, hopefully, I don't know what's going on with Woodruff, but I hope he comes back at some point. You might get Lauer back. You're still going to find a place for Colin Ray, Wade Miley. You just brought up Abner Uribe, and he started out well. So the bullpen's going to be good. The starting rotation's going to be good. The only question mark is Brewer offense. If this group of guys right now can continue to do what they're doing, and then you can add a bat or two, you got a real shot of winning the division, and you got then a shot of getting hot in the playoffs and maybe making a run at it. And at that point, that's really all you can ask for. And get to a couple of the comments here from our Twitter question of the day. Say it's 90 degrees out, which it is here today. Nice summer day in Wisconsin. 90 degrees outside. You decide to grill out. What are you buying to put on that grill? First answer says bratwurst. Wait, is it humid? If so, I'm doing 3-2-1 ribs. Bratwurst are good. I mean, I could eat those about once a week. Try not to, but you know how it goes. Gotta have brats. I mean, brats summer, spring, winter, fall. I don't care. Daniel says, put the cover back on, going back inside into the AC. Well, I mean, you don't have to sit outside the entire time. Whatever you want to do. So far, that's the top-like comment. Let's see. Let's try another one here. Not buying anything bacon wrapped venison tenderloin. So that's something you already have in your possession. Never had venison on the grill. Steve says popsicles. Dale says burgers. Keep those answers coming in here. Where was there was another comment that I had here. Let's see, where are we at? On YouTube, youtube.com/@WisconsinFamily, and then just the number 1. You can join us there. Eric S. says the Packers are not going to sign some washed-up veteran. Sean Clifford will be the backup, and Love would have to be total crap, which he won't be, to get benched. I agree. I think that's the way they're going to go into the season. Unless Clifford is total garbage in training camp and in the preseason. I can't. I mean, they just drafted him this year. He'd have to be pretty bad to be let go. Stranger things have happened. I don't know that you go into it with Etling. Etling's Aaron Rodgers' guy. He was one that ran the long one for a touchdown last year, right? While they were interviewing Rodgers. By the way, drink of the day. Where is it? Casey's. Blue Powerade. If you take beer out of the equation, Blue Powerade is like the Tom Brady of all drinks. It is. Mountain Berry Blast, they call it. Well, now that commercial is over, we return back to the program. Again, if you want to get hold of us, you can at Wisconsin_fam on Twitter. Wisconsin_family on TikTok. I wanted to see if there was any other comments to get to on the Packers or Brewers that we were talking about here before, or on the draft. Just want to filter through here and make sure I wasn't missing anything. Do it in real time. Oh, yeah, here's one. Useful Walnut. This is from TikTok. Says that he loves to see the Packers suck. Hey, you know what? The Packers might win their division this year. It's all dependent on two people, Joe Barry and Aaron Jones. Joe Barry and Jordan Love. And maybe to some extent Aaron Jones as well. The things are open. Things are open, and I don't just say that for the Packers' sake. The things are open for anyone. I think the Bears are a year or two away from winning it yet, but I don't know. I mean, there are scenarios in which the Bears could make the playoffs this year and win the division. Same for the Packers. Same for the Vikings. Lions, certainly the betting favorites going into it. But when you have the Lions up on top, you never know what may happen because the Lions are going to lion. You know what I mean? There's always that chance that the Lions are just going to blow things. Why? I don't know, because that's the Lions' lot in life. That's why. One thing I did say earlier in the show, said in regards to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, they're the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. Tyler says Kamara and Williams would like a word. Pharaoh says, behind that offensive line, good joke. Well, there's nothing wrong with the Packers' offensive line. All those guys are healthy right now. You've got 2 Pro Bowlers on the left side, most important side. And you've got a pretty established guy at right guard. And then you've got a position battle between a couple of pretty good players at right tackle. So the offensive line on this Green Bay Packer team is the last thing that I'm worried about, besides running backs. I'm worried about the whole damn defense because it all is presided over by Joe Barry, the defense killer, as has always been the case. You know, Joe Barry's never had one successful season as a defensive coordinator. It's like, all these people, wow, yeah, but the last 5 games. Yeah, well, the last 7 years, including the last couple here in Green Bay. You think Joe Barry's going to flip some magical switch? It ain't happening. I can already tell. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm living in reality here. It's not going to be good. But offensive line is the last damn thing I'm worried about. Last thing. And they can run block. And they can pass block. Jordan Love's going to be mobile. I think more mobile than Rodgers was. Though Rodgers, was mobile his entire career. He's still, fairly mobile, even at his old age. But we shall see what happens. All right, we're going to wrap things up here. I want to say thank you for listening to the Wisconsin Family Podcast here today. Appreciate all of you. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. We want to continue it growing if you're a fan of Wisconsin sports. But again, I appreciate you joining us here today. Have a great day.